Welcome to video 2 in the BattleZips Noir series. Today we're going to explore the Nargo command line toolkit and show how it can be used to interact with Noir proofs. Going on from there, we will then explore some of the TypeScript libraries that Aztec provides and show how they can be used for interacting with Noir proofs and are critical in the role of testing proofs. Wrapping up the video, we will go through a list of some helpful resources for those looking to dive further on their own. But without further ado, we will go ahead and show how we can download Nargo on our local machine. So we have two different options for downloading Nargo. Number one is installing from binaries, and number two is installing from source. The source installation is soon going to be deprecated from what I hear, but you can still find it at the same site where we see the binary installation documentation. And we'll go ahead and check that out right now. So when we click here, we will be taken to the Noir language Gitbook. And for downloading binaries, we have a few options. As mentioned in the slide, we're going to be doing this on a Mac, specifically a MacBook M1 chip. This first installation here is what we're going to copy, but if you have an Intel chip on a Mac or running Windows or Linux, they support those download options here as well. But yeah, all we have to do is copy this code block and paste it into our terminal. Go ahead and run that. And it's that simple. All the steps are right there. I will mention, obviously this went very quick, and that's because I've already downloaded Nargo, but you shouldn't have any issues here. And if you do, reach out to the Aztec Discord, which we'll link to later in this video. But just to show the installation was successful, we'll run Nargo help. And now we can see a list of subcommands. Just to go over a few important ones, we have Nargo prove, which is used to prove a proof. Nargo new, which is used to create a new Noir project. Nargo verify for verifying a proof. And Nargo contract, which is for generating a verifier contract. We'll go ahead and scroll down real quick to show compilation from source. As we mentioned, you're free to do this, but it probably is going to be deprecated soon as the binary installation is a lot simpler and more error-free. But just for reference, if you want to check that out yourself, go to the Noir language Gitbook. Oops, went too far. In summary, Noir lets us generate proofs via command line, verify proofs, and also compile circuits to a form called Acer, which is an intermediate representation we'll go over later in the next video. Nargo is not the only tool we have to interact with Noir circuits. We also have 3 different NPM packages that each serve their own purpose for Noir. The Aztec backend package is used for computing witnesses in TypeScript. We don't actually use this in the main repo for BattleZips Noir, but we do use it in the front end. So stay tuned for video 9 and we'll go over that in more detail. The Brandenburg package is used for generating provers and verifiers in TypeScript, and also verifying proofs, generating proofs in TypeScript. It also provides access to a large array of other helpful tools, like in the context of BattleZips Noir, the Peterson hash implementation in TypeScript is very useful. But there's a whole lot more to explore in it, so highly recommend digging into it if you have free time. And finally, the last package that's used is Noir WebAssembly, and this is used to compile Noir circuits in TypeScript, as well as convert to and from Acer and bytes. So wrapping up the video, just thought it'd be helpful to put some links to resources together for those looking to become more familiar with the language on their own, get involved in the community, reach out for questions. So starting off, looking at the Noir Gitbook, we already looked at this for installing Nargo to our local machine, but there's a lot more that can be learned here as well, like an overview of the language structure, how projects are organized, looking at generating solidity verifiers. And as you can see, much more than I can go into detail about here. So highly recommend checking it out in your free time. Moving on, for those who want to stay up to date on the latest in Noir, I recommend following the Noir Twitter. They post about relevant projects in the space and also updates to the language quite frequently, so definitely give them a follow. For those who want to reach out directly with issues they're having with Noir, I'd check out the Aztec Discord, as they're very responsive there and would like to help out if you're having problems. And then questions related specifically to BattleZips Noir and issues setting up the project, please reach out to us here at the BattleZips Discord, and Jack and I would be very eager to help you out and get those issues fixed. And then finally, for those looking for a little more inspiration and reference from pre-existing projects, I recommend checking out Awesome Noir, which is a GitHub repository that aggregates a lot of different resources together for learning about Noir, like links to documentation, links to talks and workshops in Noir, boilerplates for starting your own repository, and links to different projects to reference the code there. And in the next video, we're going to look at the Noir language itself, take a look at the syntax, what project structure looks like, and how files are organized. Finally, get around to explain what Acer is, and wrap the video up by looking at features on the roadmap. But that wraps it up for video 2, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.